one of the things I'll share with you as far as strengths and weaknesses is I am a classic entrepreneur. I have an idea a nanosecond, which is tough on the people around me because I'm always kind of chasing another idea. And in some cases that's good, in some cases it's bad. So one of the things I think it's incredibly important for entrepreneurs is know your strengths and know what you're not good at and hire the opposite. One of the first people that I looked at bringing on board was somebody who was very much like me, and it was a disaster. It was just a disaster. You can't have two people who are idea people in the same room, nothing gets done. And so I learned very quickly that what I needed to do was have people who think differently, process differently, and in many cases completely respect that. I would love to at some point get some funding for effective networking so I can really grow the business, and what I would absolutely want to do is to get fired from running it. I do not want to be the operations officer at all. I want to have somebody else who can run the day-to-day operations. Now that the books are in 7 languages, I'd like to find people who have language. I'm not going to go off and learn these 7 languages. And so find people who can understand the entrepreneur opportunity in Korea, Japan, Indonesia, Brazil. I get emails from people around the world who have read my book, and it's really kind of, and one of my housemates is Taiwanese. So I asked her to read it in Taiwanese and tell me if it was a good translation, because I can't read the book. So part of what it is really understanding what you're good at. If you don't know what you're not good at, here's a really inexpensive way to find it out. I was in the Wall Street Journal last week, Election Day, November 4th. You can go to the careers section of the Wall Street Journal online and find it. And what I shared with people is I do something called SurveyMonkey. And I go to SurveyMonkey and I create a survey and I send it out to about 40 or 50 people. And I did this, I abuse my name being Darling. I don't try and be obnoxious about it, but I sent it out a couple years ago and I said, this is your Valentine's gift for your favorite darling. And 1, people are shocked that you're willing to get feedback. 2, it's anonymous. And 3, people will say things on this to you that they will never, ever say in your face. And a lot of it is really useful information because they want to see you succeed. They want to see you be helpful and successful. And so what I did was I had, what does Diane do for a living? I'm in the networking business, essentially referrals. Number 1, I've never done any advertising at all. So I end up getting most of my clients because somebody told somebody who told somebody. So if people don't know what I do, they can't give me a referral. So the first thing is I said, what do I do for a living? Who are the clients that I serve? And I spoke a few weeks ago to a bank, and I said it was about 300 bank employees, and I said, how many of you have a grandmother who still thinks you're a teller? And about half the audience raised their hand. Because you work at a bank, grandma thinks you're a teller. I mean, you could be all kinds of different things, but that's kind of what you have that connection with. So what do people do? What are the strengths of the businesses? What are some opportunities I'm missing out on? And then I went for the personal. What are Diane's personal strengths and what are opportunities and ways for her to improve?